Hello there again. Vancouver Wall Vet here on a nice quiet Saturday afternoon, early afternoon, November 15th. Hope you're all well. Checking in. Let's talk about connections today. Let's talk about community. And finally, let's talk about coherence. So we'll go over some things I thought may be of value to the audience. If you're with me or have been through 2 or 3 or 4 of these videos, thanks for sticking it out. This is new. And it's worthwhile to me, so hopefully it's worthwhile to you as well. Did some traveling just the last time I checked in. I had made a connection from Phoenix, Arizona to do a repatriation full-scale exercise as an observer from the Vancouver metro area of Washington. So I flew down for work to do that and unobstructedly sit there and observed a very good exercise. Sounds like to me it was coordinated, designed, planned by the Department of Economic Security for the Arizona state level government. And they went through a scenario where they have, a few hundred perhaps U.S. citizens voluntarily taking up what's essentially a human services program for them as repatriates back to the United States due to a civil war, or perhaps some other natural disaster or traumatic event where our Department of State has decided we need to give an avenue and give a roadway for U.S. citizens to come back home. That's why I was over there. But throughout the travels, throughout the time on the plane, throughout the time in airport terminals, walking by passengers, fellow travelers, sitting next to them perhaps in a airport pub or a restaurant, I can't help but think how sometimes it's hard to even make a basic connection because we're also very either withdrawn into our phones or withdrawn into ourselves. And small talk or connections of almost any sort in a passenger terminal can be very, very uncomfortable. And I think that's my assessment of it. But making a sense of what seems to be a phenomenon where we're more and more isolated these days, and finding it harder and harder to appreciate the other point of view. And perhaps all of you have come through some of this or come to these observations on your own. I find it worthwhile to note that community is the one thing we may be most missing these days when it comes to understanding other people, connecting with other people, asking them about their lives and their situations and their points of view. Right? We're not doing really good on this area. And so every time I go out and I go into a public place, I do my best to make eye contact. And if this appropriate moment opens up, make some small talk. I think these are good times to practice that. As a matter of fact, I'd argue it's vital. It's crucial that we connect with other people, especially strangers. So coming through the pandemic, coming through our incredibly turbulent political times, our cultural divide deeper than ever, as they say. Footnote, hopefully one day we'll come to a point we will no longer say we're so divided. So I'm just getting so tired of talking about that. But the point is, now is the time to reconnect. And it has been. And you could pick up anything by Johann Hari, like Lost Connections, or his book Stolen Focus. Those two titles go into great detail about these subjects of less screen time, despite that's the medium I'm communicating to you through, more connection face-to-face. We need more of that. So when we talk community, and I suggest that as a topic today, I hold myself accountable first. I hold myself to a higher standard first and say, what am I doing to connect? And if it's an airport terminal, it may be a brief moment of eye contact and a smile. Seems really pedestrian, right? Seems something we all should understand. But we've let it be eaten away by our obsession with cell phone connectivity, all the information, all the taking a knee at the altar of technology. And what we're missing are the vital components of connection, social connection. There's got to be a structure. We've got to find a place to do it, whether it's within our family, whether it's within our friendships, our close friendships, or perhaps it's in a marital relationship or a relationship with a spouse or significant other. We've got to have a function to it. It's got to have emotional support. Maybe there's a mentorship aspect to it. We need to help each other in these relationships, in these communities. Okay. And we lift each other up through these channels, through these methods. Some of this stuff is very obvious to many of us. We do it every day. We just don't have a name for it. We may not pay attention to it. But I suggest we do. Take note of it. If you're like me and you like to record some things occasionally, put down something in a journal. Reflect on it. Take the time to not cross the street to avoid the other person. Instead, make an effort to see them. Instead, make an effort to give them a greeting. Ask about the dog. Ask what their kid is, doing in school. I mean, you can just imagine the unlimited avenues to open discussion. And just try it. Give it a shot. So that's community. Connection almost goes hand in hand with that. Make a connection. Just as I described, I know when I walked through that airport terminal, it was hard to make a connection. But I knew, if nothing else, talking to a waiter or a wait person, I would be able to make a connection just through the process of coming in as a patron, as a consumer, being served something, offering a service, agreeing to purchase it. There's a connection there, right? Even those daily minor intersections at your favorite coffee shop, the grocery store, the library, the movie theater, wherever you're at, make a connection. Ask how their day's going. Typically people standing on their feet in these very public, these very service-oriented jobs, appreciate a little attention, okay? I mean, I know I would. So take the time to ask them how your day is going, how are you feeling, busy, not busy, what have you. It's a 30-second to 40-second communication. Give it a shot. And finally, when I say coherence, what I mean by coherence is to develop emotions from the heart. Develop an ease, a appreciation, a sense of love and honor, bravery in some cases for men and women, and make an effort to make a connection through your heart. Try to connect with people that way. Feel it. Share it. Build your coherence, your internal coherence. It means a lack of chaos, a lack of diminished cortical processes, a lack of all that heavy 6-lane interstate thought patterns we all suffer through probably on a daily basis, now more than ever. Take the time to be coherent in your heart and resonate it out to others. So that's what I wanted to cover today. Community, connection, and coherence. Make them work for you in order to help others. And that's what this vet's got to share today. Hope it's of some value to you. Like, subscribe, throw a few comments in there. Be glad to engage and interact with civil, polite, outgoing conversation. Take the time to ask other people about their lives. You'd be so really surprised how far you get. All right, everyone, take it easy.